an article that came out in the Washington Post this afternoon at 1:09 p.m. today. It took Donald Trump a few days and many hours to come out and denounce these white supremacist groups. How sincere is this really? Trump denounces KKK neo-Nazis as repugnant as he seeks to quell criticism of his response to Charlottesville. I would hate to see a real crisis happen. His slow response so far is just beyond disgusting. This is the worst response I have ever seen from any president, ever. Ever. All right, let's go ahead and listen to this fakery, ladies and gentlemen.
We will be discussing economic issues in greater detail later this afternoon. But based on the events that took place over the weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia, I would like to provide the nation with an update on the ongoing federal response to the horrific attack and violence that was witnessed by everyone. I just met with FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation into the deadly car attack that killed one innocent American and wounded 20 others. To anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence, you will be held fully accountable. Justice will be delivered. As I said on Saturday, we condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. And as I have said many times before, no matter the color of our skin, we all live under the same laws. We all salute the same great flag. And we are all made by the same Almighty God. We must love each other, show affection for each other, and unite together in condemnation of hatred, bigotry, and violence. We must rediscover the bonds of love and loyalty that bring us together as Americans. Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans. We are a nation founded on the truth that all of us are created equal. We are equal in the eyes of our Creator. We are equal under the law, and we are equal under our Constitution.
This is just part of a protest that went on in Seattle. All right, let's get back into Donald Trump. You know, I'd never in my life seen a president that had to redo a speech because the first one he did sucked so bad. But that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. He had to redo a speech because so many people were outraged how vague he was, talking about it's wrong from many sides. Many sides didn't do it. It's a bullshit speech. And I don't feel any, I don't even feel this speech is genuine. You can tell me what you think. Trump denounced the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazis by name Monday. This incident took place Saturday. It actually began Friday, into Saturday. And it took him all this time to say something. His speech Saturday, you can tell he was doing everything to avoid calling people out. And people died. This is just pitiful. So a president had to do a redo speech because the country was outraged over his first speech. I ain't never seen no shit like this before in my life. Declaring racist hate groups repugnant to all that we hold dear as Americans, as he sought to tamp down mounting criticism of his response to the killing of a counter-protester at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville over the weekend. Anyone who acted criminally in this weekend's racist violence, you will be held fully accountable, Trump said in brief remarks to reporters in the diplomatic reception room of the White House, where he returned after a week of vacation in Bedminster, New Jersey. We condemn in the strongest possible terms the egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence. It has no place in America. Trump added, racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK and neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to all that we hold dear as Americans. The statement came 2 days after the president's failed to specifically condemn the white supremacist rally during which a woman was killed and as many as 19 wounded by a driver who reportedly espoused racist and pro-Nazi sentiments and had taken part in the Unite the Right march in Charlottesville. Trump, who met Monday with Attorney General Jeff Sessions and FBI Director Christopher Wray, reiterated that the Justice Department has launched a civil rights probe into the death of Heather Heyer, 32, who was killed when a car allegedly driven by, it wasn't allegedly, he was driving, James Alex Field Jr. of Ohio slammed into a group of counter-protesters on Saturday. Trump condemned the egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides, but many sides didn't do it. Okay, I mean, that point is so irrelevant. Many sides did not kill that woman. Only one person did, and that was James Alex Field Jr. So I miss me with that one, Trump. Sparking sharp criticism from Democrats, civil rights proponents, and some Republicans for failing to single out and condemn the white supremacists who sparked the violence. Right, he didn't even mention the alt-right, but let's move on. On Monday, Kenneth C. Frazier, CEO of Merck, said in a tweet that he was resigning from Trump's American Manufacturing Council, saying he was doing so as a matter of personal conscience and that America's leader must honor our fundamental values by clearly rejecting expressions of hatred, bigotry, and group supremacy. Trump's remarks, which were not on his daily public schedule, appeared hastily arranged in a bid to move the White House past the backlash to his performance over the weekend. Yet before addressing the Charlottesville situation, Trump opened his remarks touting the economy and noting that stock markets are near record highs and unemployment rate hovering at a 16-year low. And though he condemned racism, he did not refer to the attack on the counter protesters as domestic terrorism, even as Sessions said that it met the Justice Department's definition as such. White House aides had defended Trump's initial response to the Charlottesville unrest by saying the president was focused on uniting the country against all violent clashes. The white supremacist group, carrying Nazi and Confederate flags, and in some cases armed with shields, batons, and firearms permitted under Virginia's open carry laws, clashed with counter-protesters, some of whom fought back with pepper spray. All right. Yet Trump's critics and even some of his Republican allies in Congress express outrage that in failing to specifically condemn the racist groups, the president appeared to be emboldening them. Some criticized Trump's rhetoric during his campaign for inciting violence from his supporters targeting immigrants and other minority groups. While today displayed words are welcome, they should have been spoken on Saturday. Vanita Gupta, president of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, said in a statement, "This unconscionable delay has undermined his moral credibility as our nation's leader." Trump attempted to counter such criticism Monday. "I've said many times that no matter the color of your skin," that is irrelevant. I mean, seriously, that's irrelevant. It's not like a rainbow color of people killed Heather Hair, or whatever, Heather Hair, So making that point, what's the point? I'm serious. What's the damn point? It wasn't I could say, never mind. Let me not. I'm splitting hairs here. Let me move on. Trump called Hair's death tragic, and it fills us with grief. And we send her family our thoughts, our prayers, and our love. And he also praised the service of two Virginia state troopers, H.J. Cullen and Burke Bates, who died Saturday during a helicopter crash while on duty monitoring the march. These three fallen Americans embody the goodness and decency of our country, Trump said. In times such as these, America has always shown its true character, responding to hate with love, right? Division with unity, and violence with unwavering resolve for justice. You're a day late and a buck short. He missed a golden opportunity Saturday to call people out and be sincere about his speech and what he said. This is the first president I have ever seen in my life, ladies and gentlemen, that had to do a redo speech because he failed so miserably in the first speech he gave on Saturday. If this is not the most embarrassing thing you've ever seen in your life, I would hate to see how this man will react to the next tragedy. This is a very poor performance. He doesn't deserve a pat on the back because he redid a damn speech. Get the hell out of here. Please leave your comments and subscribe. And if you can, donate to my channel, please do. Peace, family.